Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yahweh, that is the Father's name. He is Bahashem, that is to say, in the name. Yahweh Shai, his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. This is off the website whitehouse.gov. And this is an act that they passed to produce more, chips. And under the bill or the law, the Chips and Science Act, there's certain things that is going to be used to produce more of. And you have to ask yourself, why are they concerned about producing so many more chips if this world isn't leading or isn't heading in the direction of technology taking over? You see? So the M.O.B will be a subdermal implant that you put underneath your skin that's going to tie you into, this technology. And that's why they need as many of these, that they can get, that they can produce. And under this act, under this bill, they're going to produce it and they're going to sell it to you as what? This is great for our economy because it's going to produce jobs and give opportunities and whatnot. But in this website, I read something, that sheds to light, what is some of these ways they're going to use, these chips that they're going to produce. And we're going to read this, so, you can go to the website and read more about it if you want to read the whole thing. Like I said, the website is whitehouse.gov, but let's just scan through some of the, bulletin points. So it says, the Chips and Science Act will bolster U.S. leadership in semiconductors. The Chips and Science Act provides $52.7 billion for American semiconductor research, development, manufacturing, and workforce development. This includes $39 billion in manufacturing incentives, including $2 billion for the legacy chips used in automobiles and defense systems, $13.2 billion in R&D and workforce development, and $500 million to provide for international information communications, technology, security, and semiconductor supply chain activities. It also provides a 25% investment tax credit for capital expenses for manufacturing of semiconductors and related equipment. These incentives will secure domestic supply, create tens of thousands of good-paying union constructive jobs and thousands more high-skilled manufacturing jobs, and catalyze hundreds of billions more in private investments. So you can see how they justified passing this bill, this act, as a way to, stimulate the economy. It's going to help, grow the economy, and the way that it's going, that's, to better, better the future with the technology. And most of these things are going to need chips in it, these technology, whether it's like they said, from construction to science. This is the new way. This is the new way we headed in this technology. Everything is going to be used, and you're going to need a computer, a board, which is going to be that semiconductor, which is going to be, placed on these chips. So everything is going in that direction, out with the old, in with the new type, So what's to say that this new money isn't going to be? Of course, this new money that they're going to use is going to be placed on, on these chips, and they're going to need as many as they can, because why? The people are going to be what? You already know. The people are going to be the money, and they're going to need as many of these things as they can produce to place inside the people. That's the M.O.B. That's that subdermal implant that's going underneath your skin. So they're going to need as many as these things as they can produce once this, the stage crisis takes place, where you're going to have this in order to buy and sell. which is spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter, the 16th verse. So under the act, they saying that they're using this for all these other sectors, of the economy, construction and whatnot. But in actuality, it's coming down to the one major factor, and that's, we're going to read this. So let's go on and see. So it says, promote U.S. innovation in wireless supply chains. The Chip and Science Acts include $1.5 billion promoting and deploying wireless technology that use open and interoperable radio access networks. This investment will boost U.S. leadership in wireless technology in their supply chains. So like I said, and like I stated previously, the way this world is heading is heading in the way of technology. Everything is going to be ran on technology, digital. No longer going to be using physical, substances. You're going to have to use digital technology. That's the way they're looking to move, to push the forward agenda. So let's get down to the meat of this article of this website that caught my eye. And it reads, the Chips and Science Act will establish a Technology, Innovation, and Partnerships Directorate at the National Science Foundation to focus on fields like semiconductors and advanced computing, advanced communications technology, advanced energy technologies, quantum information technologies, and here it goes right here, and biotechnology. What do you think that biotechnology is going to be? It's going to be that subdermal implant that they're going to use, that device that they're going to put underneath your skin that's going to be able to connect you to the Internet of Things, to all these things that they're setting up, this infrastructure. You're going to be part of it. They're going to need as many of these things as they can. That's why they, under this act, under this law, they can produce as many as they can under the guidelines of, we're doing this to help stimulate the economy, for construction work, for wireless. No, all of this is leading to this one and inevitable thing, man. That's the M.O.B. That's what's coming down the pipe. So either you have to be prepared, or you have to fall prey to the victim, to the lion, to the roaring lion that we read of in 1 Peter 5:8. We're gonna get to that at the end of the lesson. So here you see it on the WhiteHouse.gov website, this law that they passed, this act that they passed under the president, is coming down to one thing, and one thing particular. That's this biotechnology. That's what's going inside of you. So here you have it off their website. They're not going to come out and say it directly, because then it would, cause too much hysteria. So you have to read between the lines and have some type of sort of discernment to be able to break down and see what's going on, and measure it with the time diligently to see that what time we in and what time we going to. We moving into the age of what? Technology. The fourth industrial revolution, So let's read that one more time. It says, the Science Act will establish a Technology, Innovation, and Partnership Directorate at the National Science Foundation to focus on fields like semiconductors and advanced computing, advanced communication technology, advanced energy technology, quantum information technology, and biotechnology. That's to do with you biologically. They want to alter your DNA. They want to change you into something. They're going to put something in you that goes under your skin, your subdermal. They're going to implant something. And that's spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter. We're going to get that. It will strengthen commercialization of research and technology, ensuring that what is invented in America is made in America. The act will also reauthorize and expand fundamental and use-inspired research at the Department of Energy Office of Science and the National Institute of Standards and Technology to sustain U.S. leadership in the science and engineering as the engine for American innovation, and that's how they selling it to the people, man. This is a wonderful, bill that we passing. It's going to help get us back to being that standard that we had for the longest across the world as an American, And don't think, look into it for yourself. Read this article if you want to, and don't forget also that the FDA has already approved, the what? The FDA has already approved or has already have the approval of putting these things underneath you under medical emergency, because they have one called the Vera chip, VERICHI, the last letter. The FDA has already approved something like that. And don't forget, recently, the FDA has already approved Elon Musk's Neuralink. So you can see how everything is coming together at once. These prophecies are leading, are coming to once. That's going to lead to that ultimate prophecy, So let's go ahead and get a few scriptures. Let's take it from there. All right, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. And it reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, the adversary, that's Satan, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We not ignorant. We know what devices he going to use, because what? We have had the resurgence of being awoke in these last days to who we are from the Word, the Holy Spirit. So we know, unless Satan should get an advantage of us. Why? Because what? It tells us in Obadiah, let's read that. 1, and let's go down to verse 6, when it reads, how are the things that Esaw searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Let's read that again, Salakia. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esaw searched out? That's Satan, the adversary, because he's in opposition of what the Most High wants. If the Most High says right, he goes left. If the Most High says up, he goes down. This is Esaw. So of course he wants to do something in total opposition of what the Most High says. He says, don't cut into your flesh for the dead. He cuts into your flesh for the dead and wants to give you this advancement that he calls technology, which is really just a fast track to that judgment, that death, that second death that's spoken of in Revelation, the 20th chapter, 21st chapter. The lake of fire. Those missiles coming to judge America, also known as Babylon the Great. So it says, how are the things that Esaw searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Let's go to Revelation and get that. This is Revelation 1 and verse 3. It says, blessed is he that readeth. You have to read, What? And they that hear the words of this prophecy. So once you hear the words of this prophecy that was given to you, you have to take heed to it. You have to do your research. You have to study to show yourself approved. It says, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. And we coming into that time where everybody's going to be tried on the face of the earth, the hour of temptation. Unless Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Because we have this truth, we have this word that was given to us, So, that article was brought out to show you the progression that they're making towards their agenda is being set into place as we currently are going on about our everyday life. They are secretly behind closed doors, if you don't know, putting in the works for the infrastructure. They publicizing it, but you have to do the work and do your research diligently. They're not gonna just come out like they do on mainstream and tell you what's going on, because that wouldn't, benefit them. They'll give you some. They'll post something on the mainstream that don't mean nothing, that'll keep you distracted. They'll give you sports and stuff like that to keep you distracted, but they give you something that's really gonna benefit you. Don't look for that. You're going to have to do your research diligently. You're going to have to stay in this truth and endure to the end, because they got a whole different agenda than what they give in the narrative on the mainstream media. So let's read that again. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. Because the Most High gave us, his servants that were going to, give the word and awake through the Holy Spirit his elect, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So if you endure to the end, you are part of that number. So it says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein. And one of those things that are written therein is this M.O.B. For the time is at hand. And let's go there and read it. This is in Revelation, the same the same book, but let's go up to 13. And let's go down to verse 16. And it reads, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And they got to have enough to supply all, So under this act, they're going to be able to produce enough, and to continue to be able to produce enough, because it's already in, it's already in motion. So once that stage crisis take place, they're going to have enough to get the initial, public taken care of, and then they can easily, make more accordingly. They just have to get the initial, first wave to take care of. So it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So they doing what they supposed to do. We gotta do what we supposed to do. We gotta endure and stay in this truth, stay in this word until the end, man, so that we can be counted part of that number. So let's go ahead and go to 1 Peter 5 and 8, and let's close it from there. It's 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, and it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if you can't figure out what he's doing or what's going on leading up into that time, that's not his fault. Because he's going to say he put it there for you to read. You just didn't take the time to read and do your due diligently. You instead wanted to get, mesmerized and caught up by his entertainment that he put out for you to take, the bait. Sports, movies, stuff like that. Not saying that you can't do that, but when you invest so much time that you don't have time, to do your research and look into these things, then that's not he can be justified by saying that's not his fault. Once he shut down the internet and the famine of the word take place, or however he brings about this, however the Most High used him to bring about this, that's spoken of in Amos, the 8th chapter, the 11th verse, the famine of the word. Once that take place and you can't find out what's going on, he ain't gonna look at you and be like, you know what, I feel sorry for you. Here's some extra rations for you to get by. No, you're gonna have to take his device. You're gonna have to rely on him. He's looking at you like you got to, subject yourself to me as your God. So he ain't looking. He's looking to play for keeps, man. He ain't looking for no pity, man. Because he put all this information out, and then he gave you, the Most High gave you his servants to relate the message to you, but you didn't take heed. So once the famine of the word come and he sews up, closes the doors and you can't get in. Like when Noah closed the door and then the water came, that was it. You know, the flood came and that was it. But once this ark is closed up and he retrieves his word and you left out there to fend for yourself, that's going to be it. You're going to have to do the best you can. And once you take that mark, that's going to be it for you. There's only one thing left. That's the judgment. That's those missiles coming to purge this land. So hopefully somebody was, edified. If it be the Lord's will, to the next time, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.